I am so excited because this is actually going to be my first view of Momentum. Momentum is an app that puts your schedules, your projects, and your goals all in one place. And it's based off of our Momentum planners that we've been using for years. It's unboxing because while I've been doing all the stuff I can to develop it or to at least give the frameworks, the dev team, big shout out to Crit, and Team PF have been the ones building this. So this is my first time actually seeing this login page. This is my first time seeing everything. So I'm going to be a little bit emotional. First time seeing it. A lot of team, a lot of money, a lot of heart, a lot of time as well. Team and time going into this. Alrighty, so we're looking at the login page. Now, what I need to say is this is the alpha version. We just constrained it to the weekly view, and I'll explain why here in just a second. But not the full product, alpha view. Let's get it. All right, so I don't have an account. Never done this before, so I'm going to click sign up and see what happens. As you might expect, I'm going to get a prompt. Let me grab my email, or let me grab this password over here. Alrighty, here we go. It's going to prompt me with all the different things it must contain, which is cool. Make sure you got a good password. Make sure you're internet safe and thieves aren't stealing your stuff. All right, hit the button, Charlie. Go away. Okay. My first view of Momentum. It's empty. It's supposed to be empty. My first view. What we're looking at is the weekly view of the Momentum Planner. Now, in the old product that this is coming from, you had weekly views, you had daily, or you had the weekly Momentum Planner, you had the daily Momentum Planner, you had the monthly, you had every time slice. Well, they're now views in Momentum. And so we can start going through and looking at things. So friendly dashboard here, got this week's projects over here, scheduled events, and let's just start playing with it and see what happens. So I'm going to add my project for next week, and I'm just going to say steer the Kickstarter launch because that's what we're doing. And I'm going to get that there, and I'm also going to say, write chapter 2 of Workways, which is the next book I'm working on. Like, y'all know I'm not going to get that done, but I'm not going to get into how big of a chunk of project that is. I know what I'm doing, mostly. And so I'm just going to leave those two there. And I'm going to add a scheduled event. I'm just going to say, because I happen to know that we have a team huddle at, it's not related to a project because it's a recurring. It's going to be done on, you got a little drop down here so you can see what I'm doing. It's going to be on that date, and it's going to be at 3:30. I'm curious. I've never done it before. Can I type 3:30? Alrighty, I got to scroll. It's all good. So I'm going to hit save. Let's see what happens when I hit save. Ooh, okay. So it put it over here on the right-hand side. Now, here's why we do that. We are looking over here, and we use the 5 projects rule over and over again. So I got to show you this real quick. So I'm just going to say project 3, whatever that might be. Project 4, whatever that might be. And project 5. Project 5. Okay, so that's 5 projects. Let's see what happens when I hit the 6th one. Okay. We're using, as we develop the app, we'll be using it so that it'll give you a prompt to say, you know what, that's too many, but we don't have that baked into the alpha. But in future versions, it's going to show that you're kind of a bit project heavy. And so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But I know the Kickstarter launch is going to be my priority project next week, so I'm going to go ahead and prioritize that and see what happens. Okay, super cool. That starred, if we try to move things around, try to move projects around, we can always see where that one's going. Like in the future, we'll probably have this be draggable so you can do some rescheduling that way or some redragging. But again, we're talking about the alpha here. So scheduled events, we have that over here, and you might wonder, why do we put this over here? Well, there are a few things that happen. As I started adding in scheduled events and things like that, and in the future, we'll be able to import some of those events. What it will start to do is populate these days so that you already know what you're going into. So I know my team huddle's at 3:30. I know I have an owner's meeting. Actually, I'll put it over here so you can see what that looks like. Owner's meeting at let's see, Monday at 1 p.m. Alrighty, so it has the owners meeting at 1 p.m. Future versions will sort that for you so that it sorts it in version. But again, alpha product, and we're rolling with it. What it will do is start showing, okay, you have 3 meetings or 2 meetings already. Once you start getting to like 3, 4 meetings, that starts taking out significant projects chunks. So we're showing it over on the scheduled events so that you don't say, I've got a full day in my calendar already, but I'm going to go start planning a whole bunch of stuff to do. Where are you going to do that? Momentum's going to help you see you already have those that time accounted for, so you can go ahead and start dragging things around. Okay, so what's my main focus of the week? Yes, I'm going to say the Kickstarter launch, because we know, that's the Kickstarter launch, or I'm going to actually say finishing strong with the Kickstarter launch. Okay. So that's there. We can start using it. We know that it's up there. So once you sort of done this, the methodology here, the method to the madness, is what ends up being populated on the left side of the screen. This week's projects, the scheduled events, create the structure, the broader sort of structure and constraints of the week. And what's over here in the right hand tends to be what you're going to do to drive the week. And so you can start seeing how your projects, which we've highlighted over here, in your schedule start to be used to create the work of the week. Now I can go through here. I also know Monday morning it's going to be, I've got I got a little bit of time there. I can see it in there. So I'm going to say, this is where I think I need to write section 1 and 2 of workways. And so I'm going to say, okay. See this drop down here? It's related to that project. It doesn't have a deadline, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. And you'll see over here that we can prioritize that, because I know it's super important, and I'm going to prioritize it. Puts it up at the top so that I see that it's there and can start working from that. Obviously, we can edit and delete. We currently don't have prioritizing meetings. You probably wouldn't use it that way. And I think there's some, I need a project chunk for, preparing strategy docs for the owners meeting. Because I know that's going to be a thing. It's not related to any project except for, it's related to the big macro project of running my business, but it's not related to a sub project. It's just a routine. And so I'm going to hit save. All right, so that would let me know what my priority projects are. Now, I could go through here and do this for all the days and all the weeks, but you can see where this is going to go. We hope that this very alpha version of Momentum gets you started with using this weekly view and driving forward that way. And, if we start clicking around, we get to start it again next week, so on and so forth. In the future, when we're at the monthly view, there's going to do a lot of this population for you. But we're getting started with the weekly view of the the weekly view of Momentum. So I hope this is useful. You can start to see what we're doing. And here real soon, we're going to be inviting people to start using the product and really help us fix it and make it better. And we hope you're one of those few people who backed it and who are excited about this. Okay, thanks so much. Let's go out and let's get momentum.